I don't know. Okay, can you hear me now? I am sorry. This is so weird. So you guys know, I can tell it looks like I've got my volume working now. You know, I have my new camera up here with the microphone. Well, when I was gone over the weekend, I turned off my computer, and when I turn it back on, yeah, sorry about that sound, Lisa. When I turned it back on, it just loses its sound, and I have to go and return it back on every time. And the original one wasn't working, but anyway. So sorry. I am so sorry, you guys. I should have thought about that. Yay, I'm so glad there's sound now. Let's hope that when I switch screens, I'll have sound, you know. This one's also really weird because I have to put it on every screen. And normally I just put it into the program. It's a lot to understand, but I have to put it on every single screen. It's really weird. So let's hope when I switch screens it works. So thank you for hanging out. So I'm sorry about that. So strange. Anyway. Now I know this is like the third time I think I've turned my computer off and on completely and not just restarted immediately, and it's done this. So now I know every time refix my sound. So sorry about that. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about the weekend retreat that I went to and a little bit about my week that was good and bad because some big stuff happened. And we're also going to show you about, if you guys saw my Facebook, right, Lisa Electronics, Pheesh. You think you know what you're doing when you really don't, because you're not like a techie. I'm a pretty techie, but this, behind the scenes, third party stuff is kind of crazy sometimes. But anyway, so I went on my birthday retreat. It's not my birthday yet. It's not till the 28th, but thank you everybody for my birthday wishes because I do celebrate all of October because that's just how it is. You look like you had fun. We did have fun. I saw the picture of you sleeping on the couch. Yeah. Sherry decided that she thought it was funny to put the sash and crown and the blanket that she got me because it is my 60th this year. It's kind of crazy, I have to say. It's really kind of crazy to realize that I've passed the age of my father by 8 years already, and I'm only 12 years away from when I lost my mom. So my brother and I both are like, oh, because he's going to be 70 this year. Anyway, so we always get together every October and we have our little birthday celebration. So Sherry's birthday is in October, and then Olivia also comes and celebrates. The three of us go together and we celebrate Olivia's birthday, although a couple months early, because we all want to do it together. And October just kind of works for us. And our plan is always to bring our Christmas cards and our projects that I create for my team and for my customers and that kind of thing. And we prep ahead of time. We get a lot of stuff done ahead of time, so that we can pretty much assemble and just have a good time and visit and have fun. Well, Marcie decided to assemble incorrectly, and I should have added my picture on here, but I forgot to. So you'll have to go to my business Facebook page, Marcie Besecker Designs, and you will see it there. But I got down to the last probably 12 panels. We had been just putting things together and layering all day and chit-chatting. And when we got down to the last 12, I said, when I'm done with this, I'm going to bed, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I had gotten up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport. Whenever I go back to the mid or east, because I'm in California, I have to go really early in the morning to get there during the day, because a lot of times I have to go the night before to be there for the morning, because our flights don't get there. Like I didn't land until like 3:30. And it wasn't that long of a layover in Dallas. So it's just, anyway. So I got up at 3, got to the airport at like 4, 4:30. I think we flew out at 6, which wasn't too bad because it's been earlier. Anyway, so I'd been up for a long time at 3, and I realized we were putting these together. And I said, when these 12 are done, I'm going to bed. And Sherry, of course, I'm jet lagged too. I'm still behind time, so I'm thinking I'm doing pretty good. She says, well, what are those panels for? And I said, my Christmas card. And she had seen my Christmas card. And I pulled out my Christmas card to show her. And when I did, I was like, my mind was telling me my Christmas card has this paper on it. Oops. It has this paper. Oh, geez, it's kind of the lighting here. Okay. I have the light on above. That's why. So it's this paper. So in my mind, I'm thinking this is the paper I'm working with. I set up everything. I had them all ready in the trays, ready to go. And I was just like, I was supposed to be doing this side for those panels. My card has 28 pieces on it, not including embellishments. And so I was like, I could have cried because I have a lot of this paper because I have a lot to do with my Christmas cards, my gifts, that I decided to do this paper. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I was thinking, okay, if I do this panel, then I'll change some of my other stuff and over to this panel. But long story short, if I would have turned one of these panels over, the stuff I put on top it wouldn't have been as pretty. Anyway, I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it. So we're sitting there for 2 hours trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? And Sherry was all in, like, all right, let's think about this. What if you use this paper in that same pack? Because I have, that paper. And I was like, I just didn't want to. Plus, I already had this paper cut for all the other projects I was doing to go together. Anyway, so then finally at 5 in the morning, Sherry said, I have paper at home. I don't know if I have enough, because she's using the same paper, not this paper, but a paper in the pack. Well, some of this paper, but more paper in the pack. And so we were like, okay, she goes, I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to go home and I'll grab all the paper I have and we'll see if we can make it work. So then I was like, well, if I can get at least enough of this to match a number of items I had for another project, because they go together, I'll be good. And then I'll just have to change up the other ones to the paper that I wasn't as thrilled with, but it would work. It's the same package of paper. And so anyway, long story short, we made it work. We had enough. When the paper becomes available, I will be ordering and sending it back to Miss Sherry so she can have her paper. And yeah, it was a little disheartening. I was a little upset, but I made it work. And she was like, oh, you're so sad. And I go, I know. Well, we did a lot of prep. We all had, anyway, our stuff. So today's project for you is I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my paper and how I'm making that workout. So I'm going to do that for you today. A couple of other things. Let's see. We had a really good time. We stayed up. That night was till 5. We woke up at 8. The next night, I think we said we could stay up until 2, but we took a nap during the day, but it wasn't very long, an hour, I think. But we're like, tonight we could stay up till 2. We felt great. Like 10 o'clock, we're like, no, we're done. We're going to finish doing these. And then at 11, we were done. We went to bed. But we got up like at 6, I think, or 7, something like that, and worked again. I think we took a half-hour break that day, maybe, and stayed up pretty late. Anyway, that's what we do. We stay up really late and we craft. And so we are absolutely crazy. Oh, thank you, Ida. I appreciate it. Ida. Oh, I'm saying it wrong. Ida. Thank you for that. Because I say Ida all the time. Thank you so much for your parentheses there. So anyway, so while we're there, okay, so now the bad news. We had a great time. Everything was great. Everything was fun. I had a couple delays on the way home, to be expected. It always happens through Dallas for me. Actually, it almost happens everywhere, but whatever it is. I've learned to put my toothbrush, my toothpaste in my carry-on, change clothes in my carry-on. I mean, in my backpack, actually, because a lot of these flights, especially to Midland, they have me go on a little jumper plane. And so they always want my suitcase and, oh, we'll put it through to your last place. Well, okay, so I'm not going to have my suitcase. So it goes in my Stampin' Up backpack. So I put things in there that I need. So like my toothbrush. So anyway, that's not the bad news. So the bad news is we're away. You guys know my kitty has been sick. We've been taking her to the vet. We've been trying to figure out what's going on. And the only thing they told us is, she's got a little bit of her pancreas, testing is a little high. Or we think it's inflammation, or we think it could be this, or it could be that, which is nothing crazy. They've not told me anything was like, we need to pay attention to this. The last time was, well, we could take x-rays and see if we can see anything, but we think it's inflammation. Why don't we start with some new cat food, a prescription cat food, which is $40 for this little tiny bag. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Yesterday, I was supposed to take her back to the vet to have see what's going on with her food and if that's working. And if not, we were doing x-rays. Now, this is after a year of going to this vet. So my husband is home over the weekend and he tells me, Chassie's not doing really good. And she was doing okay, but I think I told you she was limping a little bit and like she was a little wobbly and she started not eating food again, her new food. She scarfed it the first night. And after that, she got sick. And I thought, oh, she got sick because she ate so much food. Well, anyway, long story short, my husband calls me on Sunday and he said, she's not doing good. I have to carry her to the litter box. I have to carry her to go give her water. And I'm literally putting water on her face and she is not walking. I go, we're calling the vet. You got to take her into the ER, pet vet. So we took her to the pet vet. The poor girl had lots of stuff going on. Anyway, long story short, they kept her overnight. They put her in an oxygen tent. Her vitals were 12%. I mean, it was really bad. She had an enlarged heart. She had, it just breaks my heart because this other vet didn't tell us this. However, I did call and get the vet results, the blood test, completely different a month ago to when she went to the ER. And they said it's very common that can happen. They think she threw a blood clot. We don't know for sure. And I don't need to know now. What I did find out is she had an enlarged heart. She was not producing red blood cells. Her white blood cells were extremely low. They're supposed to be 2.87. They were 0.39. Her heart disease was, I guess it's supposed to be under 100. And she was at 1,270. So she's been walking around, eating, drinking, doing fine, except being a little wobbly lately until Saturday night. And so Sunday morning, he took her in because Sunday morning it was worse. Anyway, sadly, my poor kitty had to be put to sleep. So she was out of pain. They gave her fluids. They put her in a heat tent, oxygen tent, warmed her up. Her blood pressure or her temperature was very low. Anyway, that was kind of the end of my trip. So I'm sad, but anyway, I don't want to cry. I've had her 10 years and she's very young. My husband's like, well, she's 10. That's pretty old. And he's not a cat person, but he loved on her and took care of her the last couple days. Whew, okay. So that was my weekend. So anyway, just so you know, you won't hear my kitty meowing anymore. And so there we go. So that was my weekend. And it was a great weekend. And then it ended but she's not in pain anymore. And they said that they don't think she was in pain. That because she was eating, drinking, everything until the very, very last day. And so, thank you, everybody. So they said they didn't think she was in pain until she just couldn't walk. And they think that was probably a blood clot, but she had so many things against her. So anyway, okay, done with sad news. Let's go on with good news and go. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, she's not hurting anymore. So she was loved and, was a happy kitty. So anyway, okay, so let's go. Bingo's next week. Let's go on to back to business. Bingo is next week at 5 o'clock. It is the 22nd. Don't forget, register as soon as you can. There are some great holiday projects in there. I have, I believe, 4 Christmas cards and 1 fall card. So be looking for that. They're all different kinds of cards. It's really going to be a lot of fun doing this bingo. So don't forget to join bingo, and that'll be next Wednesday. The Elegant Pines, I have a very few kits left of this. This is the one that comes with the banner that you might have seen. I don't know that I still have a picture of that. I don't. So that is coming with a banner and all fancy folds. So for those of you that are doing the class, I hope you are enjoying it. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it, so I'm really happy about that. Everybody should have their kit sent out. The last person that just registered for it, I just need your payment. So if you just registered in the last few days, make sure you paid for that and I'll get that sent out to you. And I did send you an email. Traditions of Christmas. Oh my gosh, you guys, this class is ending up being all fancy folds again and some crazy fun fancy folds. I have to say, I have had a whole lot of fun with this class. And so I think I only have 1 more card to create. The PDF is partially done. It should be sent out to you by November the 1st. So I am working hard on that and getting that done. So thank you guys so much for all of your hugs. I appreciate it very much. Lucy, I haven't lost a pet in a very, very long time, probably over 20 something years. So yeah, it's kind of tough. Let's see what else. Don't forget your advent calendar. I do have a video showing you all the sneak peeks and things of what are in the advent calendar, which I am loving. So I hope you'll take a look at that. Stampin' Up also has a class with the traditions of Christmas. You will pay a $30 fee for that class. You'll need the suite to create the projects, but they do not send out kits for that. It will be a live online class and you'll either just watch it and keep up with them or you can go back and create with it. All right. Flat rate boxes for those in October that have purchased $100 or more with me. You will be getting a box until they run out. I am going to be creating those boxes this weekend. I am just finishing up getting bingo all put together and working on my class. And so I've kind of mapped out some time this weekend to get that together. I still have a lot of stamp sets and dies, a bunch of DSP and other products, and some fun little surprises I'm going to be throwing in there too that are not Stampin' Up. Well, they are, but yeah, they are Stampin' Up, I should say, but there's been a little change to them. And anyway, it'll be something kind of fun. So you'll get that in there. And don't forget Paper Pumpkin. We have the new one. Look at this. Wrapped in Cheer is what you will be signing up for now when you register for Paper Pumpkin. I am super excited. I love when they do these small Paper Pumpkin boxes. So I'm excited to participate with that. So, play with that. And don't forget your add-on dies. You want that. And let's see. Oh, Stampin' Up! Okay, you guys, so it looks like my sound is going to have to be put on every page. So I will look at that. Wow, this is crazy. There's got to be a different way to add this thing on there. Let's see. I'm reading what you guys wrote. Yeah, I did lose my sound. You guys hear it now, though, right? You guys hear the sound now because I put it back on there. So I'm noticing, like I mentioned, I might have to do it on every screen. Okay, so sorry. I will make sure I do that. It takes a second to add it on, but so weird. I don't know why it does that, so I apologize. So thank you. All right, so really quickly, Stampin' Storage is having, they have magnets 5 by 8.5 for Stampin' Up. They fit in our envelope if that's how you choose to store them. They also have these Creative Crates Slim. There's the single and the double. They're a little wider than the 5-inch magnets because they want to be able to put 6 by 6 paper in those too if you would like. Okay. And of course, really quickly, the join special. Don't miss out on this. It's such an amazing opportunity. For $35, you get $90 in free product and 7 months to try to make your quota. If you don't make your quota, you just go back to being a customer. And it is as simple as that. Now, I can't believe that my audio worked during that, but not the other screen. Weird. Anyway, so joining is it's super, super great way to join and give it a try. If it works, great. If it doesn't work for you, you become a customer. So yay, I still have my speakers. So this is how you join. You go to my blog, the top right side, join my team, and there you go. All right. So I think that is it and quick and easy. So everybody can hear me now. Yay. Thank you, you guys. It is a nice storage. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to check and see if they fit into the calyx, these back here, because it would be nice to put those in here, and including because these are so small, I can have room to add my 6 by 6 paper in there too, instead of having it over there. And so we're going to look into that a little bit more. I just saw a quick video on it, but it is on their page. So we're going to look into that. Okay, so now I'm going to switch down and we're going to get busy. I know, a long video today. Luckily, I said, and we're going to talk about retreat. So you guys have a heads up. So thanks for sticking with me. So I'm going to point the camera down and see if I have sound. I'll fix that really quickly if I don't. All right. Yay, we have sound. Weird. I don't know what's going on. Some do, some don't. Okay, so we're going to make this card and it's going to be quick and simple, you guys, okay? Because what happened was I ended up having extras of these, which I already had created. So they are embossed, okay? So I had that already. And I ended up having panels and panels and panels of these. So I finished them the wrong way because I said, I will come up with something with these. That's okay. So, yeah. So, no excuse that my kitty was sick, although we knew she was not feeling well. Yeah. Anyway, so it's just, it is what it is. So, we're going to take 2 of these out. All right. So, I took 2 panels out and our sentiment piece. So, that's what I'm working with. So, I have a whole bunch of these. All right. So, what I wanted to do, and the reason this right here, okay, so this on the card, it didn't have this, it had something else, so it was way too busy. That was kind of like this. And so I didn't want to add anything on top of that, but this was kind of, bold and separate and okay, and this made this an accent. So this is what we're going to go with. So I'm going to bring in my card. I made a card base. I made my inside. Oh, let me give you the measurements really quickly while I grab my trimmer. So here are the measurements on what we're going to do. So you can see how I fixed this. All right, so there's our measurements, and I'll go back to it again at the end. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. We know this is 4 1/4, so I'm going to turn this over, and we are going to, we're going to score it this way because it's going to fold back at 2 1/8, which is half of the 4 1/4. Okay, yeah, don't be surprised if I don't goof up my card today because it's been a heck of a weekend. All right, so we're going to fold this back now. All right, and we're going to burnish it. All right, simple. Now we're going to take our piece here, which this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to put that on here. But we're going to stamp this first. I'm going to bring in my grid sheet, my red ink. Ooh, I didn't even put my thing on here. So I have all of this just piled right here right now. Like this was my fussy cutting that I did in the airport. By the way, my scissors went through no problem. I ended up having to put my embellishments in a large case because I've been using a lot of them. Putting these in and out of my previous pouches like this was a really bad idea because they kept catching on each other because there were so many in here, and I was working with a lot of that. So I decided, okay, can't use that anymore. So I just brought out a case, and it was much better. All right, we're going to take the large flower image, right? And I'm just going to put it right here, not on the glass because it sticks. I'm going to get, okay, so I'm going to use this top part right here. And let's see, did I use the top part? No, I'm going to use the bottom part right here. All right, so we're going to go and make sure the bottom is all the way on my block. The top will be hanging off a tiny bit, and that's okay because we're going to be using the bottom part, okay? So we're going to use that. We're going to bring in our white panel that's going to go on the inside. Now I have a little spot right here. I usually either take my nail, like, you know how your paper kind of lifts a little bit when you do it on the trimmer. I'm just going to push that down there a little bit. All right. Where did I get the larger case? Oh, Paula, the Stampin' Up! Used to sell these. These are for wood cases, but you could, I don't know if they have that. I mean, you could probably can find some on eBay maybe or something. Somebody might be selling them, but they're wood cases that Stampin' Up! Used to have when we had wood stamps. And then they actually had them for quite a while after that. But they got rid of them some time ago, but they're perfect for storage. All right, so we're just going to stamp this in red, and I'm just going to, doesn't have to be super straight or anything. I just want it to go off the page down here. I don't want a whole lot of I just want it an accent. So you don't have to put, the whole flower on, but you could if you wanted to. It just would give you a little less room for stamping. And then I'm going to go about the same here, but I'm going to angle this a little bit. Now this one's going to be a little bit more. So I'm going to, let's see. Okay, I'm going to turn this. See how this leaf comes here and then this comes this way? And then this kind of fits in there, whereas the other one doesn't. So I'm going to make sure I have ink on the inside, on this side now, because I'm going to go up here and just stamp right there. Okay, so it kind of gives it the same border. All right, let me show you like that. If I would have done it like this, this way, then it wouldn't have, met up in there, but I wanted to kind of meet it up. So make sure you, kind of focus on which way you're doing it. And that's the way it should have been, but I think I had turned my stamp. So, all right, so we're going to put that away. So that is all the stamping we're doing today because I've already stamped. But what I did do is on here, I gold embossed, same thing, top and bottom, but I made sure the middle of the poinsettia was at least on the page. So I went up a little bit to get the main, because we're not writing in here, and this was enough. I stamped this first, and then I kind of went in and make sure you get that poinsettia on there. Okay, so there's that look, and you can see it's all in the gold. All right, so we did that. You could, if you wanted, stamp a sentiment here. So you can open that and you can stamp something here if you wanted. This Merry Christmas, which is a really, really nice one. I took it out. Let me see. Here it is. It's from the Ornamental Christmas. And I think I forgot to add that below because I forgot that it was a different stamp set. I love, love, love this font. So I chose to do that one. So let's go ahead and adhere these together. Oh, out of tape on that one. So needless to say, I think I took 8 packages of seal plus the one that was in my holder there, and 8. I think I did 8 liquid glue. I think I came home with 2 of those because I didn't get to my other projects that I was hoping to get to because, you know, lost a whole day, basically, all that work. But I ended up using more seal because of my boo-boo. So luckily, Sherry and I pretty much shopped the same, so she was able to cover me while I thought I brought plenty of extra, but didn't take into consideration boo-boos. Carol, just know that when you do the sound kind of got off. When I realize now that when I turn off my computer at all, I have to reinstall my microphone. So I'm going to need to look into that. I should not have to do that every single time. Okay, so the first thing I did is I added this on here, okay? And then I thought, I have a lot of these panels, and let's see. And Sherry said, you have so many, add another one. And I was like, you know what? I am going to do that. So that's what I did. So let's put my glasses on. All right, we're going to go and add this one. There's really no right or wrong. I mean, if you look, like this is pretty much looks like almost the same direction. I mean, you can look at them and just see what looks good to you. And I think this looks right. I don't know. I don't think there's a right or wrong, which I like about that paper. The thing I do like to do is make sure your lines align so that it looks like it's straight across. And sometimes when you're adhering this, you want to make sure that if it's a little lower or a little higher, kind of group those together. Like sometimes you go, oh man, I went a little too high. Just make sure it kind of looks like, you know, as close as possible, just so it looks good. If one's worse than the other, put the bigger side or whatever at the bottom. Put the one closest, you know, that measures the closest to what's already there at the top, because that's kind of where your eye goes. If this was a little off, I probably wouldn't even notice, but I mean, as card makers could probably notice more than most people, but so I just want to make sure that the top and the bottom are even. This is going to be a really fast card because I've already done the boo-boos. All right, so we're going to put this on here. Okay, so just think about it. It's going to be like this. And we're going to turn this over. And I'm going to turn it upside down because I'm right-handed. I am going to hold it right here and know that the glue has to be over here, okay? So I'm going to take my liquid glue. I'm not going to go all the way to my fingers or all the way to the edge, but it'll be close enough where it'll ooze out a little bit because I do it a little thick. And I am just going to make sure that I turn this back over, okay? Oh, I just totally did it on the wrong side. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Hold on. That's because I turned it upside down and I did it the other way. So I have to fix this because I can't show you what this looks like because this is part of my card that I have to kind of cut something off. Because I don't want you to see my Christmas card. And so this is kind of, okay, so Marcie, we're going to go like this. We're going to go like this, and we're just going to turn it this way. Okay, so just make sure you're grabbing it the right way. Not that I don't have enough of these, so. Yay. All right, so just don't, I wouldn't go all the way to the edge too thick because you don't want it to ooze out, right? Now, here we go. So now, just kind of put it where you think it's going to go here in the middle. There we go. Oops. Smushed a little. Don't want that. Make sure you open it up. There's no glue. Yay. I almost canceled my video today because I feel like I'm all over the place. So thank you for bearing with me. All right, glue dots and my bow. So of course we're going to do our bow. And we're going to add our glue. If you don't watch me, normally I'm off crazy today, but I also I add a glue dot and then I add liquid glue on the bow because I just like to make sure that they're not going to go anywhere. All right, so we're just going to add that on here. All right, and now we're going to bring in our embellishments. You guys are rock stars. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I know it was long at the beginning, but thought I'd let you know all the stuff. All right, so I decided I'm going to put large ones here because I don't use the large embellishments that often. And so I kind of run out and I'm like, oh, I'm going to use the large. And then I'm going to go with, I think I did a medium over here. Yeah, a medium. The small ones are the most popular for me. I'm going to do, oh, you know what? I didn't put one under the bow right here. So I think I am because it's still a flower there, like this flower. So you might think, you know, slide that over just a tad. I like that these are not directly, like this one is a little more this way. But you could even move it over more that way, and this one even maybe a little that way. That way your embellishments are kind of spread out, but that's okay. Now that's 4, so of course now I'm going to have to do a 5th one. So I'm just going to take a red and just put it right here because they're kind of tend to be more over here. And I think I'll just add one right there. Yay. All right, so there we go. So there you go. That is it. See, I lose these little, oh, see, I'm losing the whole thing. So that's how simple this card was, is I was like, okay, what am I going to do? But look how nice it is having that in the middle. So when it's open, you still have some pretty here instead of all white. And then we did some stamping. Now you could, if you wanted to, let's see, let's do this. Why not? Why not? We have some of these. I probably need to order more for my cards, but all right. So, oh no, I'll show you later what I did with that. But anyway, can't give my secrets away. Okay, so we can put that there, and then we can even add another little one like right here if we wanted. And yes, you can't see it with this closed right there. You can see these, but you can also take your stamp over here and maybe only ink it to here or something, and then, you know, add a 3rd one there if you wanted, but I think this is fine. So you can add just that little bit more bling on there too if you wanted to. So anyway, there you go. That was my uh-oh card. I say uh-oh because have you guys seen, if you have little grandchildren, my grandson loves watching Miss Rachel, and she has the uh-oh song, and that's all I could think of when I was making this card is uh-oh. It's the uh-oh song. So anyway, there. Oh, I think I got that light up there. Oh gosh. Well, anyway, here, let's hold it back here. It still has a horrible glare. Let me turn this off. Let's see if this helps. Well, there we go. Let it adjust. So there we go. I like adding that panel on the inside there. So if you have it, might as well use it, right? There you go. So I hope you guys like the card. Thanks for bearing with me with my volume being all kooky. I got to figure out why it does that. It should not disappear every time I restart my computer because that is nuts. And especially when I don't remember. So thanks for saying. So now you guys can tell like how far ahead I am to when you guys are saying you don't have sound. I'm already chatting up a storm. So thanks, you guys. I'm glad you liked it. Oh, thank you, Ida. I appreciate it. Let's see. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Suzanne, Marva, Colleen. All right, everybody. So have a fantastic rest of your week. I will be getting the class done, and bingo's pretty much almost done next Wednesday. I can't wait. Don't forget to add your numbers 1 through 30 on your registration form. So I have that. Please, if you've moved, make sure you note that in the notation if you have moved so that I can update your address, because there's nothing worse than having something returned because you didn't get it. I have received some cards this week. I'm going to have to share next time. And I've been really, really bad about sharing the cards I've been receiving. But off the top of my head, Carol and Ramona, thank you so much. Carol, I'm going to laugh and tell a story real quick. I got your mail. Okay. And this is what I got. And I'm only telling you this because it was not too thick and it was not too heavy. So I don't know why. My mail lady said, I don't know what they're saying that you need postage because you don't. And so she didn't make me pay it. But weird, huh? So just so you know, odd, because I brought it in here and I slid it through my little mail thing and checked it because when she handed it to me, I'm like, this doesn't feel thick. And she's like, it's not. So anyway, just so you know. But I had to talk with somebody else and they said sometimes their post office is really good about marking stuff when it goes out. But stuff coming in doesn't. And so I don't know. But that's not to say it was my post office or yours. It's just kind of a weird thing because I don't know what that person was doing, but it was not too thick or too heavy. You'll have to get the stamp with the sentiment, Tammy. You will. It is a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. I love, love, love that Christmas stamp. Let's see. Oh, good, Patsy. I'm glad you'll case it. Love the new sign-up registration form for class and bingo. Thanks, Deb. I am loving it. Now, I had a little problem with international, but I think we've got it fixed. Fingers crossed. So, if anybody's joining my Traditions of Christmas, which is this suite class that's international. If you have any problems, please let me know. But we think we've got that all figured out and fixed. If not, I can invoice you. We can make it work. So don't worry about that. Because you will get a PDF with all the measurements and some tips and tricks on it. And you will get a private video of me creating all the projects. And it's going to be a fantastic class. So must have been someone new. Us old posties know. Right, Nancy? I know. I thought about you the other day. I said this would go through with her because it was crazy. I was like, I've sent out thicker cards than that and put forever postage on it, and it's fine. So thanks, Lynette. All right, everybody, have a fantastic week. I will be here on Sunday. Let me double check. Ooh, I'll be watching my grandson on Sunday, so maybe I can have my husband bring him in and he can say hi to you. He's going to be a year in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited. So that's Brewer. And but then hubby will watch him so I can do my video. Let me know. Do you want to do Christmas on Sunday? Or would you like to see new November online exclusives? So let me know because whatever you answer below is what I'm going to do. So let me know which you prefer. November online, the new sneak peek items, or Christmas, or fall. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.